Hey romance readers, it's Linda here, back again with another video. Today I'm going to do my TBR for 2018. Sorry I didn't get to post last week. Yeah, I'm already all off of what I said I was going to do, try to get a video posted. Look, I'm all off script already, but as I mentioned in my last video, I had visitors, so I didn't get to post last week, but I will make it up this week. I will post another video this week. But today I'm going to do my TBR. It's some of the same books I've already shown you all, but I'm taking off a couple because I want to, as I mentioned in my last video, I got some series that I want to finish. So I'm going to add those series books to my TBR and take off some books. And the books I'm going to take off, as you look, I found this in the store. I thought it was so cute. Yeah. Romance people. And I also, my mom bought me this shirt. I'm gonna see if you can see it. I hope you can see it. If you can't, it say love. Hope you get to see it. L-O-V-E. Yeah, anything have love on it, I'll be purchasing it. Yeah, I'm that big of a sap. Yeah. But these are the 4 books that I'm going to take off my TBR for because I've had this TBR ever since, what, October, November? Yeah, I think I mentioned on here that I'm a very slow reader, so I haven't progressed any. So I'm going to take these off, and I will put them back on there once I finish these series up. The first one I'm taking off is Shannon Drake, Branded Heart. I think I've read this synopsis on this, so I'm not going to read it again. Also, I had Joe Goodman, A Season to Be Sinful. I've read this already. This was an excellent read for me, so I had put it back on here because I wanted to reread it again, but I'm going to go ahead and take it off now. Also, Christina Dodd, Castles in the Air. I'm going to take this one off, and I read the synopsis of all these. Like I said, I had this TBR ever since October, so some of you who've been with me since then, I've already read the back of these. This is Karen Hawkins, Lady in Red. I'm going to take these 4 off, and I'm going to... Oh, I also wanted to show y'all this. I found this in the store. I thought it was so cute. It's a once in a while, right in the middle of an ordinary life, love comes along and brings you a fairy tale. Well, people, I'm still waiting on that fairy tale. Keep hope alive. Yeah. So, I removed 2 of these books and I added these 2 because I mentioned I want to finish this. This is the Blood Rose Trilogy with by Kaki Warner. The first one was Pieces of Sky. This is the one I read, and this is the one I recommended, one of my top reads for last year. Excellent book. And I brought this back again because I was reading in the back of here. The synopsis of this is called Heartbreak Creek, and this is another series of her, a runaway bride novel. And I'm gonna read you a little bit of this because when I read this, I was like, this sounds interesting. I'm gonna have to purchase this. Edwina LaDue hoped becoming a mail order bride would be her way out of the war-torn South and into a better life. But as soon as she arrives in Heartbreak Creek, Colorado, and meets her yeah, I'm going to skip that word right there, groom, she realized she's made a terrible mistake. Declan Brody already had one flighty wife who ran off with a gambler before being killed by Indians. He's hoping this new one will be a practical, sturdy farm woman who can help with chores and corral his 4 rambunctious children. Instead, he gets a skinny southern princess who doesn't even know how to cook. Luckily, Edwina and Declan agree on a 3-month courtship period, which should give them time to get the proxy marriage annulled. Except that as the week pass, thoughts of annulment turns into hope for a real marriage until Declan's first wife, this is what got me right here. Declan's first wife returns after being held captive for the last 4 years. Now an honorable man must choose between duty and desire, and a woman who's never had to fight for anything must do battle for the family she's grown to love. That what got me right there. When his wife returned, I was like, oh, heck yeah. I got to get this right here. So it's Heartbreak Creek. Have any of you read Heartbreak Creek? Let me know what you thought about it, because I'm thinking about getting this because it sounded, that synopsis, that caught my interest. And this is Kaki Warner. And this is the first book in and this is Pieces of Sky, but I just read this in the back and I had to come back on here. I'm like, this sounds interesting. Let me get this. I might get this right here. So if any of you read that, let me know. And also, I forgot to mention in my last video, what were your top reads for 2017? Let me know. So I'm going to put this over here because I finished that. That was excellent. And I'm just going to add these two to my TBR for January. Even though this month, look, these weeks are moving by quick. So I'm going to try to read 3 books. No, let me change that. 2 books a week. I'm going to try. I don't know how it's going to work out. But this is Kaki Warner Open Country and Kaki Warner Chasing the Sun, the Blood Rose Trilogy. And these are all about the, what are their, the Wilkins brothers. So, those 2. And I also took off another 2 books because I wanted to finish up this trilogy. This is the Keymaker Chronicle. Not a trilogy, it's a chronicle. Well, same thing. The Kingmaker Chronicles, because this is also going to be 3 books. I read the first book. It was excellent. And the first book, what was the first book? A Promise of Fire. And this is the second book, Breath of Fire. And I didn't want to read the second book until I got the third book. And I have the third book here. I just got it in the mail. Yeah, I'm going to open it. I got a little haul here too. So let's open this up. Oh, look what Amazon sent this big old paper for this little bitty book. I was like, oh, what is going on? So let me cut this open if I can. These scissors about as dull. There you go. There we go. There it is. Ta-da! Heart on Fire, Amanda Bouchet. So, second book, third book. So, I had to put these 2 on my TBR because I wanted to finish them up. And that's why I took all those for, because I wanted to add these 4. So, I'll be reading Breath of Fire and Heart of Fire. And next I have Rachel Gibson. Nothing But Trouble. I'm going to leave this on there. I read the back of this already. Oh, let me read the back of these. Molly McFerrin is desperate, forced to flee to the frontier with her late sister's children. She must provide for them while outrunning the relentless tracker their vicious stepfather has set on their trail. To secure their future, she marries a badly injured man, assuming when he dies, his insurance settlement will provide for them. But there is one small problem. The man doesn't die. Hank Wilkins doesn't remember the train wreck that he barely survived, and he certainly doesn't remember marrying Molly, but he takes her home to his ranch where Molly is quickly caught up in the boisterous Wilkins family. So that sounded pretty interesting, so I hope it's good. And I'll read the back of this one. Daisy Eldred always yearns to sing, but she fell in love only to bear a child to a man who loved another. Now she has a second chance at her dream, but first she's returning to the man who broke her heart. Jack Wilkins never wanted to work his family ranch. He wanted to travel the world, but a devotion to a childhood love had brought him back to win her one last time, until a woman from his past appears with a baby who has eyes like his own. Very interesting. Chasing the Sun and Open Country. And I'm not going to read, I don't know about these synopses. This is not really a synopsis on the back of these, so I'm not even going to read these. But they're fantasy or paranormal, however you want to say. And this one is Nothing But Trouble, Rachel Gibson. I'm not going to read the back of this because I think I read this already. Like I said, I had this TBR since October. Next, I got Heart of the Sun, Pamela Willis. It's a Western. I read the back of that. I also got Lisa Kleypas, Smooth Talking Stranger. I've also read the back of that one. And Karen Bryan, I hope I pronounced the Scot Beds, his wife. I don't know if I think I added this to the TBR. I don't know, but I'll read the back of this. I don't know if I read it or not. Gavin St. James, Earl of Thorne, is a notorious Highlander and an unrelenting Lothario who uses his slightly menacing charms to get what he wants, including too many women married to other men. But now Gavin wants to put his shady past behind him, more or less, when a fiery lass who is the heiress to the land he wishes to possess drops into his lap. He sees a perfectly delicious opportunity. And then I think I mentioned I like Kerrigan brine, so I had to purchase this. The Scot bed his wife, and the Scot beds his wife, and I'm also going to put that on my TBR for this month. And I got Jody Ellis Kleypas, the Protector. I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I did though, but I'll go ahead and read the back of it. People think they have Camille Logan nailed, a daddy's girl with his big bank account to fund her lifestyle. But Camilla is determined to free herself from his strings. Out on her own, she's made mistakes, including one that had her clawing her way back after a stint in rehab and plenty of bad publicity. Now, after fighting so hard to be independent and happy, she finds her life threatened as a result of her father's ruthless business dealing. Caught between resentment and fear, Camille is completely unprepared when an ex-military sniper crashes into her life as her bodyguard. That sounds pretty darn decent. That sounds pretty good. Jody Ellis Kleypas. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right. The Protector. And last on my list here is another Grace Draven, Master of Crows. I always want to say Master of the Crows. Do you know you ever be reading stuff and just be putting words in there where they just come from out of nowhere? Well, this is Master of Crows, Grace Draven, and I'll read a little bit of this. I think I read this already, but I'll go ahead and read a little bit of this. What would you do? What would you do to win your freedom? This is the question that sets bondwoman Martise of Asher on a dangerous path. In exchange for her freedom, she bargained with her masters, the maid priest of Concave, to spy on the renegade sorcerer Sara of Nath. The priest want Martise to expose the sorcerer's treachery and turn him over to Concave justice. A risky endeavor, but one she accepts without hesitation until she falls in love with her intended target. Yeah, that's what you know what gonna hit the fan once you fall in love. And that's Grace Draven, Master of Crows. And I'm still reading on Under the Desert Sky. This is I started reading this first before I read Pieces of Sky. But Pieces of Sky caught my attention and I was off to the races with that book. But this right here is a slow read. I'm trying to get through it. It's not a book that I want to, you know how some books you read and you be like, no, I'm not even going to finish this. It's just real slow, but I still want to finish it because I am interested in finding out what happened to the characters. I want to finish it and I don't want to finish. I'm on the fence. So I'm still persevering on through. I'm trying. I'm going to finish it because I want to know what happened. I'm tempted to just go ahead and skip over a couple of chapters and go on to the back and get finished, but I'm not going to do it. So I'm still reading on Under the Desert Sky. And once I finished Pieces of Sky, I went and I said I'm going to read this next. Christina Dodd, she's a favorite writer of mine. Wilder, and I've never read any of her Paranormal, so I said let me give this a try. And I like this cover also. So I'm going. This is the next book I'm going to read after I'm going to read. Look, I'm going to read both of these at the same time because I might get interested in this. This is just going to be, when I get finished and I feel like I want to read, I just go back and read this because this right here, I don't know. So I'm going to read on this next. I'm trying to read 2 books at once. So I'm going to start this also and try to finish Under the Desert Sky. But I'm starting Wilder, Christina Dodd. I'm going to start on that. And I also wanted to show you all, these are not on my TBR, but I brought this back because I mentioned this in my last video that I got Dangerous Rush for Christmas. And I was mentioning that I did have the first book in the series, and here it is. It's Furious Rush by S.E. Stevens. And I'll read you a little bit of these. I think I read Furious Rush already. But these are sports romances. They're motorcycle, the hero and the heroine are motorcycle. That's what got me. The heroine is a motorcycle racer. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty interesting. So I'll read a little bit of this. Mackenzie Cox has a lot to prove. Daughter of a racing legend, she is eager to show the world that she has inherited her father's talent in the male-dominated sport of professional motorcycle racing. The last thing Kenzie needs is to be antagonized by her rival team newest rider Hayden Hayes. Plucked from the world of illegal street racing, Hayden immediately gets under Kenzie's skin. His insinuations that Kenzie is a spoiled princess who was handed her career fuels her desire to win, and much to her surprise, Kenzie soon learns she performs better when she's racing against Hayden. And that's the first book in the, I think this is the first Rush series. I think that's what this is called. But this is the first book, and this is the second book, Dangerous Rush. I read a little bit of this. Mackenzie Cox has lost everything except Hayden Hayes. With Kenzie's racing career over and her family no longer speaking to her, Hayden has been her rock as she tries to pick up the pieces of what was once her life. So this sounds interesting. I can't wait to read this. If I can only get through these right here, yeah, I'm gonna put these. Gonna be next on my TBR when I finish. Finally finish. I'm gonna put it like this. If I ever make it to these two books right here, I'm gonna put these two on my TBR. Cause look at those covers. Yeah, fan freaking tastic. I like this one. Got it going on right here. Can you see it? Yeah. And I have one more thing I want to show y'all, because I also purchased something else. Yeah, I'm doing too much. I had to get this right here, because this is a Mariana Zapata, and you know she do big books. Look at that. Oh, I read this on my Kindle. I've read it already. It was excellent. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. Excellent book if you haven't read it. A sports romance. He played football, and I'll read you a little bit of this. Vanessa McClure knows she's doing the. I probably massacred that last name. Vanessa Masur. Yeah, let me leave that alone. Knows she's doing the right thing. She shouldn't feel bad for quitting. Being an assistant housekeeper, fairy godmother to the top defensive end in the National Football Organization was always supposed to be temporary. She has plans, and none of them includes washing extra large underwear longer than necessary. This was an excellent. If you haven't read this, check it out. But if you don't like, look, if you don't like long books, I don't know, it might not be for you. But once you read Mariana, it don't seem like it's a long book, because you'll fly right through it. Excellent, excellent writer. Excellent, excellent book. Check it out. That's all I have for now. I will be coming back with another video sometime this week, because I need to make up for that video that I didn't get to upload last week. So until then, keep reading those romances, and I'll see you.